Hello friends, I hope you are fine. In this video, we are going to read chapter 25 and the last chapter written by Leong, which is titled as the Arctic or Polar Climate. So let's start. The polar type of climate and vegetation is found mainly north of the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere. The ice caps are confined to Greenland and to the highlands of these high latitude regions, where the ground is permanently snow covered. The lowlands, with a few months ice free, have tundra vegetation. They include the coastal strip of Greenland, the barren grounds of northern Canada and Alaska, and the Arctic seaboard of Eurasia. In the southern hemisphere, the virtually uninhabited continent of Antarctica is the greatest single stretch of ice cap where the layers of permanent ice are as thick as 10,000 feet. Now, the climate. First one, temperature. The polar climate is characterized by a very low mean and annual temperature, and its warmest month in June seldom rises to more than 50°F. In midwinter, January, temperatures are as low as minus 35°F, and much colder in the interior. Normally not more than 4 months have temperatures above freezing point. Winters are long and very severe. Summers are cool and brief. Within the Arctic and Antarctic circles, there are weeks of continuous darkness. At the North Pole, there are 6 months without light in winter, despite the long duration of sunshine in summer. When the sun does not set, temperatures remain low because the sun is low in the sky and much of the warmth of its faint rays is either reflected by the ground snow or used up in melting the ice. It has little power left to raise the air temperature. Water in the soil is frozen to great depths, and the summer heat can only thaw the upper 6 inches of the soil. The ground remains solidly frozen for all but 4 months, inaccessible to plants. Frost occurs at any time, and blizzards, reaching a velocity of 130 miles an hour, are not infrequent. They can be very hazardous for the polar inhabitants. In coastal districts where warmer water meets cold land, thick fogs may develop. They last for days, and in many instances, it is not possible to see for more than a few feet. The second one, precipitation. Precipitation is mainly in the form of snow falling in winter and being drifted about during blizzards. Snowfall varies with locality. It may fall either as ice crystals or large amalgamated snowflakes, as it takes 10 to 12 inches of snow to make 1 inch of rain. Precipitation in polar regions can be expected to be light, not more than 12 inches in a year. Convectional rainfall is generally absent because of the low rate of evaporation and the lack of moisture in the cold polar air. There is normally a summer maximum, and the precipitation is then in the form of rain or sleet. In regions where winds blowing out from the large anticyclones developed over the ice caps are prevalent, rain comes in summer, when more evaporation is possible. But in coastal areas where cyclones are more strongly felt, the tendency is towards a winter maximum, for that is when cyclonic activity is greatest. In such regions, the annual rainfall of 10 to 12 inches for the tundra may be exceeded. Much heavier rainfall has been recorded, especially in areas where the cyclones are most frequent. Example, Jan Mayen, 71° north, 8° west, has 15 inches. Wardo, 70° north, 31° east, has 26 inches, and Ang Magasalik, 60 north, 38° west, has over 37 inches. Figure 157 shows the rhythm of temperature and precipitation of a tundra region taken at Upernavik, Greenland, 72° north and 56° west. Its winter temperature is minus 8°F, while its warmest month in July is only 41°F, giving an annual range of 49°F. Precipitation is low, only 9.1 inches, falling mainly in the second half of the year, both as rain and snow. Now, the tundra vegetation. In such an adverse environment as tundra, few plants survive. The greatest inhibiting factor is the region's deficiency in heat. With a growing season of less than 3 months and the warmest month not exceeding 50°F, the tree survival line, there are no trees in the tundra. Such an environment can support only the lowest form of vegetation, mosses, lichens, and sedges. Drainage in the tundra is usually poor as the subsoil is permanently frozen. Ponds and marshes and waterlogged areas are found in hollows. In the more sheltered spots, stunted birches, dwarf willows, and undersized alders struggle for a meager existence. Climatic conditions along the coastal lowlands are a little more favorable. Here are found some hardy grasses and the reindeer moss, which provide the only pasturage for the herbivorous animals like reindeer. In the brief summer, when the snows melt and the days are warmer and longer berry bearing bushes and Arctic flowers bloom, though short lived, they brighten the monotonous tundra landscape into Arctic prairies. In the summer, the tundra is full of activities. Birds migrate north to prey on the numerous insects which emerge when the snow thaws. Mammals like the oops, foxes, musk ox, Arctic hare, and lemmings also live in tundra regions. Now, coming to human activities. Human activities of the tundra are largely confined to the coast, where plateaux and mountains increase the altitude. It is uninhabitable for these are permanently snow covered. The few people who live in the tundra live a semi nomadic life and have to adapt themselves to the harsh environment. In Greenland, northern Canada, and Alaska live the Eskimos, numbering less than 28,000 today. They used to live as hunters, fishers, and food gatherers, but in recent years, more and more of them are settling in permanent huts. The polar Eskimos living around Thule in northwest Greenland still lead an uncertain life, not very much different from their forefathers. The seasonal changes in climate necessitate a nomadic way of life. During winter, they live in compact igloos, and in summer, when they move out to hunt, they pitch portable tents of skins by the side of streams. Their food is derived from fish, seals, walruses, and polar bears. Other Eskimos hunt caribou, the name given to reindeer in America, and other animals to secure a steady supply of their daily meat, milk, fat, skins, and bones. In the last 50 years, through their contact with the Europeans, the way of life of the Eskimos has undergone tremendous changes. Coastal villages have permanent wooden houses, complete with modern facilities. Speedboats are replacing frail kayaks. Deadly rifles instead of traditional harpoons are used to track down animals and seals. Fur bearing animals are being reared on a commercial scale, and fishing too is being commercialized. In some more accessible parts of Canada and Alaska, schools have been established and the Eskimo children are being taught the skills which will allow them to fit into the modern way of life. In the Eurasian tundra are other nomadic tribes such as the Lapps of northern Finland and Scandinavia via the Samoyeds of Siberia from the Ural Mountains and the Yenisei Basin, the Yakuts from the Lena Basin, and the Koryaks and Chukchi of the northeastern Asia. They wander with their herds of reindeer across the Eurasian tundra, where there are pastures. Many of them have taken to a more settled life. In the USSR, large farms have been established for raising reindeer and for breeding fur-bearing animals. Now, the importance and recent development of the Arctic region. The Arctic region, once regarded as completely useless, is now of some economic importance. Apart from the efforts of the various governments in assisting the advancement of the Arctic inhabitants, the Eskimos, Lapps, Samoyeds, etc., new settlements have sprung up because of the discovery of minerals. Gold is mined in Alaska, nickel near Petsamo, USSR, petroleum in the Kenai Peninsula, Alaska, and copper at the Rankin Inlet, Canada. Coal has been mined in Spitsbergen for a long time and also in Alaska. With the declining reserves of iron ore around Lake Superior, the Great Lakes industrial concerns are using more and more iron from large iron ore deposits in Labrador. New railway lines have been constructed to bring the ores to the St. Lawrence River for subsequent shipment to the major industrial districts. Rich deposits of iron ores at Kiruna and Gällivare in Sweden have made it possible for Sweden to enjoy a prosperous export trade in iron and steel and other metallurgical products. With the establishment of ports on the Arctic seaboard of Eurasia, it is now possible to ship timber and fur from Siberia. Though the ports, such as Igarka at the mouth of the Yenisei, are not ice-free, modern icebreakers keep the passage open most of the time. On the Arctic lowlands, where the growing season is lengthened by warm currents or higher temperatures, experiments have been carried out to devise varieties of hardy cereals for local needs. It may not be long before the tundra is brought under greater agriculture, especially pastoral use. The healthy air and its preservative qualities, it is practically germ free, are factors worth consideration for future colonization. Scientists, meteorologists, and explorers have lived in the Arctic and Antarctica, making studies of their geology, weather conditions, plant and animal life that will be of great significance in years to come. With this, our chapter ends. In the next video, we will start a new book because with this chapter, the book ends. So, till then, listen to the audiobooks and study well. Jai.